Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
All right, my beautiful people, good evening to you. I want to do a quick check for my mic and stuff like that. My mic sounds nice. I think I should be good. Good evening to you guys. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight on the new Black Wall Street as I bring to you guys a discussion and talking about crypto, in particular Bitcoin. I said I'll be doing a little bit more featuring cryptocurrency and Bitcoin this year because we do have someone within our organization that's teaching about stocks. So I can kind of switch to something else and we can kind of hit it from both sides of the ring. In case you're wondering about that organization, that is the Black Billionaires Club, which we do run, been running for over a year. So if you're interested in connecting with brothers and sisters who are serious about building wealth, creating businesses, and making a difference, then that might be something you want to consider. The Black Billionaires Club by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com, and look into a membership to connect with like-minded people. I tell you, what I found is that being around brothers and sisters who are serious about that thing, it helps elevate you real fast, specifically in your mentality. Man, I want to find out who's here with us tonight. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. I'll be sharing with you guys a little bit about Bitcoin and a Bitcoin investment strategy. Go ahead and let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, people, what city, what state, what country. And then also hit that like button, the share button if you care. If you know some people that's, this has been a hot topic. We're talking about, investing in a sense, but I want to make sure that people understand some concepts of this thing, and more particularly that you understand what you are particularly going to invest in. I think that's very important as well. If you are part of the BBC, go and put in the console hashtag BBC. Let people know that you are here in full effect. And we will be right back after a little advert. Yeah, we'll be right back after a little ad, man. Pair of bills here with the Black Bazaar.
Oh, yeah.
Man, shop there at the Black Bazaar by simply going to the website www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. Marketplace that features Afro-centric home decor, personal care products, also Black Heart-inspired gifts. Once you remember this, man, and once you shop Black, you never go back. Man, once you shop Black, you never go back, man. Go ahead and do us a justice here by checking us out there. Man, I ain't had too many people let us know where they're connecting from here tonight. I got what's going on. Miss Vivian Reed is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Brooklyn, New York is in the house. What's going on with you? We got another person in New York here, Hempstead. They serious about it. We're going to learn about this money tonight. New York is represented here today. What's going on? Monica Allison out of Philly in the house, BBC, represented here tonight. Who else is here? We got quite a few people here, but you can't type. I'm not quite sure. But again, guys, I want to take some time tonight to really try to dig into this thing called Bitcoin for you. This was kind of the best night for me to do it. I'll probably be back on Wednesday to kind of start going through stuff. So I'll be, one of my goals this year, I would say, is, in case you guys don't know, we had a savings challenge last year. And from that savings, I'm going to actually start trading cryptocurrency this year. So I'm going to take $1,000 out of that and I'm going to see what I can do with it as far as growing it in the cryptocurrency market. So I know some of you guys are into Forex and stuff like that. I'm going to focus on cryptocurrency. I'm going to trade crypto. You guys can trade Forex, about the same, just different assets. So I'll be over in that space. Tonight, I'll be showing you guys some of these platforms that I'm using, that I use, which helps me to determine, future outlook for something, future direction for something, things like that. I want you guys to understand that there's a difference between investing and trading. Also, I think there's a difference in advice that you give to people based upon where they are. So I can't give the same advice to a person that's been in crypto or Bitcoin for 4 years as I would to someone who's just getting into it. But I understand this because as a certified financial educator, I've been dealing with people and their emotions and money for over 10 years. So understand that my position is I'll try to hit from all different angles when I have this broad conversation. But if you're someone say, okay, what do you have exactly for me? Well, that's going to be like, well, we need to have a real, one-on-one conversation about where you are in your journey with money, so to speak. So we'll kind of start there. Oh, what's going on, Tony? Tony's in the house. Victor, what's up, man? My main man. I ain't know you was in Atlanta, man. We got to connect. I'm in Atlanta too. What's going on, Tony, man? Hey, Tony, I got to reach out to you. Make sure I got to inbox you because I sent out some invites. We're going to be having some special shows coming out. I definitely want to feature you and what you got going on one of our upcoming shows in the near future. So hopefully we can, because I really want people to find out, know more about you and what you're doing, the impact that you're making and things like that. So hopefully we can connect. What's going on, Mr. McClaney, Largo, Florida? Thanks so much for joining. What's up in the house? I got ATL is in the house. BBC, thanks so much. Crypto versus Forex, trader versus long-term investing. What's going on? Ron, my main man, New York is in the house. Thanks so much for joining here tonight. So obviously, we're having this conversation tonight, about Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency. We'll start by looking into Bitcoin, where it is, what it is. And then I'll be, sharing some different ways that you can approach this thing if there's something that you're interested in. Before you put your money into anything, I want you to hopefully take the time to understand it better. I'll tell you 3-4 years ago when I first heard about Bitcoin, I didn't understand it. So I didn't just jump in because I was like, I don't understand yet. And I took a while to look into it, read about it, started putting my ear to to where people were talking about it and having conversation with it. And then I felt comfortable enough with my understanding of it before I put my money into it. And I believe that people make real bad mistakes because they're trying to follow something, feeling like they're going to miss out on something. Everybody putting comments, so FOMO, FOMO, the fear of missing out. This causes a lot of people to lose money. The fear of missing out causes a lot of people to lose money because they hop into something without understanding it. And then because they feel like they're going to miss something because they didn't make a move. But I want you to understand that opportunities are always available to you. But you can make wiser decisions when you actually understand what it is that you're putting your money behind. So I really do not encourage people to move on anything that they don't understand. Now you might miss out, but you might not, because no one can predict the future. So you just have to wait on the next opportunity. But how much better would it be if you actually understand that which it is that you are, interested in, investing in, spending your money on, than when you don't? Now, I would also say I've been an investor for a long time, right? So there's this thing called investor and emotional intelligence. There's also psychology with this thing. And here's what happens. Here's what happens with people that because it still happens even to people that's been investing for a while. We start to see stuff take off. Tesla, Bitcoin, Neo, whatever, Hertz. And we feel like, man, I missed the 75% run up. I wasn't interested when it was cheap and inexpensive, but now that it's high and I feel like it may just keep going higher, I need to get in now. And the problem with that is it's called risk and reward. When things get to a certain space in growth, now you start running the risk of, is it more likely that it's going to keep rising at this pace, or more likely that it's going to tail off? And we're going to take a look at it from both sides tonight, because we'll see where it's been, where it's been. We'll take a look at this history, see how it's done and performed in the past, and then we'll just use our own cognitive skills to decide for ourselves, well, what do I think the next move is? Okay, so I'm going to try to hit it from both sides of this thing here tonight. FOMO, that's the fear of missing out. I'm telling you, this fear itself causes a lot of people to lose money. DC Fat Mag in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Who else is here? Anybody else here that I haven't called out yet? That's why you learn first. That's right, Miss Wong. You do that thing. You get your education on. Get your education on. So let me pull this thing up for you guys. So first, let's go ahead and drop into this thing. I don't want to do too much talking. I want to try to get as much accomplished as we can in the time that we have. This might end up being a two-part series. I've done this before, guys. I was teaching about Bitcoin 3 years ago. I'm an investor. I've been investing in Bitcoin since it was $1,200. They used to have me come on and talk about this stuff at all the new spots where black folk was that didn't know about this thing. So I've been doing this for a while. I just haven't done it in a while. Okay. We've been mining Bitcoin, all types of stuff. All right. And people that have been around know what's going on. So anyway, so Bitcoin right now is at it's tailed off. So it's at 32,920. We're going to take a look at a chart tonight. Take a look at a couple of different charts. It's at $32,920. That would be for one whole Bitcoin. Now, here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to, invest to get one whole Bitcoin. You can buy in pieces or fractions of this Bitcoin and start to build up a portfolio if you like to. So if you only got $20, you could invest $20. You got $50, you can invest $50. You don't have to have $32,920 to invest in Bitcoin because it does trade in fractions. Out to 8 decimal points, and a piece of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. A Satoshi. So when you buy a piece, it's not going to say Bitcoin. It's going to say that you own a Satoshi, or how many other Satoshis that you have that you own until you own a full Bitcoin. So it's kind of like, a dollar broken down into pennies. When you got 100 pennies, you got 100 pennies. You don't have a whole. When you got 99 pennies, you got 99 pennies. You don't have a whole dollar. Same thing here. When you have pieces of Bitcoin, you have Satoshis. Until you get till you can trade it in for a full Bitcoin, you are an owner of fractions or pieces of Bitcoin to make up a full Bitcoin. I hope everybody understands that. Let's keep going. What's going on with Wichita Cheesecake coming in house? So here's some things, again, as we're going through this, here's some things that I'm going to be pointing out that's going to help hopefully to understand the rave. So I'm gonna start by going through. So currently, the amount of money that's in Bitcoin is $619 billion. Okay, that would be the amount of Bitcoins that's circulating times the price of Bitcoin. So we have 18,589,737 Bitcoins that are circulating in population. So if we want to compare that to dollars, we got an unlimited supply of dollars, okay? Because they're going to keep printing out, just like y'all see, the Federal Reserve, they keep printing money. So there's no limit to it. We don't know how many dollars are circulating in supply right now, but we do know how many Bitcoins are circulating in supply. So 18,589,737 times the price, 32,000 now 732, because it just went down, would then give us the full market cap for the value of Bitcoin in the market. Is that making sense to everybody? They say I'm a good teacher. I don't know. I just try to explain things the way in which I like for it to be explained. Now, fully diluted market cap. That's the next section that they have here. And I'm on their website, coinmarketcap.com. Coinmarketcap.com. So this is a good place for you to come and kind of get an overview of what's going on in the cryptocurrency market. I'm particularly talking about Bitcoin today, so I just came straight to Bitcoin. Fully diluted would be when we get to like maximum supply. When we get the maximum supply at the current price, we will be at 700 million as far as money that's in the market or in the cryptocurrency market for Bitcoin. And then we have volume. Volume would be the number of transactions that's taken place over the past 24 hours. And so we have 78,668,246,972 transactions that have taken place. And that's an increase in volume. This is important to note. That's an increase of 20% volume over the past 24 hours. So there's been a whole 20% more trades or transactions that's taken place for Bitcoin in the past 24 hours. So more people are interested in Bitcoin. Basically, that's what it's saying. We got more people that's trading, more people that's interested, 20% more transactions that taking place over the past 24 hours. All right. No problem, cleaning crew. What's going on? All right. So we got that. Hopefully got that. So y'all understanding these numbers and what the meanings of these numbers are. Now we have maximum supply. This particular number here is the reason why we have such a great value for Bitcoin, because it's called scarcity. Unlike the dollar, where they could just keep printing and it nonstop printing of this dollar, there's only going to be so many Bitcoins that'll be mined or created. And we're currently at 18.5, and there's only going to be 21 million, which is why you'll hear people say, hey, buy and hold, because they understand that as we get closer to maximum supply, the value that you have as it continues to rise based upon, versus the demand, more than likely it's going to be more valuable tomorrow than it is today, just simply because of maximum supply. As we get closer and closer to no more Bitcoins being mined, this is the maximum supply that's being circulating. As long as there is a strong demand for it, then you can anticipate that the value of what you own will be more valuable. Now, how valuable, we don't know, right? How valuable will it be? We don't know. But we can anticipate that it'll be more valuable, especially for the people that's been holding for 3-4 years. You see what I'm saying? So I've been holding for 3 years. So I'm feeling pretty good that I'm at 31,000 when I got it at 1,200. I'm feeling all right. Okay. So that's kind of what that means. So that's one piece of the case for it getting higher. It being, maybe getting up 40,000 or 100,000, all these god awful numbers that people are talking about simply because of maximum supply. Is that making sense to everybody? Okay. So there is a scarcity element to this particular asset where you're only going to have so much. Okay. Okay. I'll find that date for you, Aaron. I think it's 2024. They had a date for it. I haven't looked at this stuff in a while, so we'll look it up in just a second. How long before all 21,000 mine? That's a good question. That's like one of them Google questions. We're gonna ask. Matter of fact, we'll just ask it right now. How long? I think they got a date for it. So, all right, we go. The total is updated every 10 minutes. Every mine block. If there are no changes to the protocol and no Bitcoins are minted, the experts project the last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140, precisely 120 years from now. Okay, so 2140. There we go. All right. There we go. So we got. This is why. No, I'm glad you asked that question, Aaron. 2140. Everybody put in the console 2140. This is also that number there, or that year there of 2140, basically puts us to a space of 20 years of possible growth for this asset that has built-in scarcity. There's another pro for it's going to keep going up. It's going to keep being more expensive, just get it and hold it. There's another pro for that. I'm going to take the pros and the cons, because there's a long-term outlook for something, and then there's a short-term outlook for something. If you are a trader, like I'm going to be both. I'm gonna have stuff that I hold. I'm gonna have stuff that I trade. That's not long. Yeah, it flies by. It's not long at all. But so glad we're having this conversation now. 19 years before we get to that space where people can decide, okay, do I want to get some of this and hold it so that 20 years from now, my children or my children's children or my children's children's children, depending on where you are in a space that they can they will be, that's going, because this could be a part of their upbringing. The same way that 20 years ago, our parents were brought up on different, the same life with different technology. Our children or our children's children are going to be brought up on different technologies as well. So our children now are being brought up on laptops and computers. We were brought up on maybe typewriters or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I'm just trying to make the parallel or the parallel to it. Oh yeah, 2140. I'm sorry, 119 years. Thank you. Right, you're right, Ms. Monica. 119 years. 119 years. Okay, it said 2140. You're right. I'm thinking 2040. 2140. Right, 2140. So we got 119 years. You're right. Thanks so much. 119 years. All right. So we got a century basically of particular. But as this thing may grow, or as this thing may continue to be mined, it's going to slow. The pace is going to slow down. Then it starts moving to spaces of use. Spaces of use, and we'll get into that as well. All right, now. So what I want to do now, we can take a look at. Now we can look at a chart, a Bitcoin chart, and I pulled up the last 3 months. The reason why I pulled up the last 3 months is because, what does it mean? What does that do? It's because, let me see if that worked. Did that work? Yeah, it worked. Okay, cool. It's because in Bitcoin was, I think 3 months ago, back in October, it was around $10,000 per coin. And it didn't really become, super popular, to, like to the masses until it reached like maybe 20, 25,000. But it's been growing since October. And that's the chart I wanted to pull up for you. Now, the yellow line, don't really pay attention to that yellow line. Don't really mean anything. That's just showing one Bitcoin at that particular price. But the green line, well, this one went backwards. The green line is the price of Bitcoin, right? That's the price. The blue line represents the market cap. So as the price of Bitcoin grows, obviously the market cap gets larger and larger. That's what you're seeing represented on the screen here now. And we can kind of look at the flow or the flow of the upward rising of Bitcoin from a month perspective. But also what I want to look at is, from a 3 month perspective. Now let's look at a month perspective. Looking at for the past month from now until early December. Here's how this thing looked in. There was a kind of a, let me make it big again. We had, again, now you have market cap being blue, price being green. You see how in this particular chart, the market cap and price are starting to get a little closer. It's not as extended because we're looking at a shorter graph or a shorter chart. We also can see, really some huge spikes. We had a spike in December right here. This was December 16th. And then I would say we had another spike here recently, which is January 2nd. Right, like a huge, not just a normal upward rising, but a huge spike for some particular reason. And then also let's look at a week, over the past week. So the last past week, again, excluding January 2nd, it's been pretty, consistent, I would say, increase over time. All right, you guys see that with the chart. This is stuff I teach. I can teach fifth graders about this stuff because it's just looking at something going up and something coming down. All right. Let me see if you guys got any comments there. 2140. Okay. So we kind of see this chart. Now, I think it's important to understand as I get into a con, as we understand the movement of money. Now, let's talk about the last week because this is, it's the last week. It's, end of a year. We got a lot of people that's ho-humming, getting us super excited about something they don't understand. It's also important to understand money and the flow of money. What has happened just in markets, period, over the past month or over the past week? Past week, we have had the end of a year. What do you think people, money managers, do at the end of a year with their money, with their investments, right? So if you are an investor in stocks, you'll see that Thursday and Friday, which would be the last 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, which would be the last 2 days of the year, we were looking at, basically we had a down days in the market. Why? Because people were selling to capture their profits and also selling to capture their losses, to close out the books for the year. Because as you move into the new year, you're going to now file taxes on the progress or the performance that you had the previous year. So in some cases, your strategy is to show that you lost money while you still have money in the market. In other cases, I'm selling to capture my profit so I can then do something with this profit, whether it's to buy Christmas presents or to feel good about myself or to invest it in something else. Here's the interesting thing about money as well for money managers. Money moves to places that grow. So when we went through the pandemic, we saw money moving to new places that were growing. Matter of fact, they were moving so fast, they had information that we didn't have. They were in stuff that we're just now hearing about. Also, one of the spaces that moved well or has moved well clearly over the past week, past month, past 3 months has been Bitcoin. So they said, well, hey, if we're going to sell out of these large assets, let's move it to a place that still has opportunity to grow. And that particular place was cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin. Okay? So understand that a lot of what you've seen over the past week is just simply saying, I'm going to put my money somewhere that has opportunity to grow. And that particular case right now was Bitcoin. Why is that also? Well, the market, normal market, stock market is only open Monday through Friday. So if you want to make some money on Saturday and Sunday, you got to be somewhere else. And guess where that place is? Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. That's one of the best places that has grown over time in the past week or month. Is that making sense to anybody? So if we understand that, we say, okay, well, what do we think is going to happen on Monday when we're now in the new year? When now, the markets open back up. They did all the selling that they was going to do. Now it's time to find some new places to put some money. We're going to start to see some sales take place in cryptocurrency. Why? Because, again, they've already grown 10, 20, 30%, right? Going to pull some of that money out, and they're going to move it over to someplace else that's low so they can then grow that as well. Same thing's going to happen. That could be in cryptocurrency. That could be in Forex. That could be in real estate. I don't care where it is. It's the same philosophy. It don't matter where you go. Similar philosophy no matter where you go. Buy low, sell high. Everybody put in the console, buy low, sell high. So what I find very interesting for people that have never heard of that philosophy for some reason is that they find themselves in positions where they're buying high, hoping that it goes higher. And that's not a recipe for success when it comes to long-term investing. Now, does that mean I'm saying don't get any Bitcoin? No, that's not what I'm saying. I am going to say that, hey, I'll show you a strategy, and we'll talk about strategy for you to still move if you want to move, but move with strategy. Move understanding that, okay, because here's what happens. We saw this in 2018. Let me keep going. Oh, Lord. Let me keep going. Oh, yeah, let me go back to this. It just reminds me of 2018 all over again. So we saw, let me see if it's going to give me my chart again. Look at it. How do you feel about Bitcoin? I feel pretty good about it. Thanks so much for asking. Historical data, maybe? Overview? All right. So here's what happened. Now look at this chart. Yeah, I like this chart. Now look at this chart. This is like an all-time for Bitcoin going back all the way back to June of 2013. So Bitcoin has been around almost 10 years. It didn't really start getting popular to the mainstream until 2017. I heard about it mid-2017, and that's when I decided I was going to, I understood enough to say, okay, let me take a chance. Let me take a chance. But then we started having people move in. And then into 2017, this is when we saw it spike up. Very similar spike. Very similar. This huge increase in a short amount of time to the end of December of 2017. Now, isn't this interesting that we're now in the end of December or now the beginning of January in 3 years later. 2 years later. 2 years later. Now, here's what happened in 2017-18. people start getting giddy, same way they're getting giddy now. Super excited about it. They start buying high, right? Oh, I got to get me some. Fear of missing out. It's going to go to the moon. It's going to go to 50,000, 40,000, 100,000, 200,000, right? All this stuff. They went and got it, right? Then it tapered off. We're in the same time frame, just 2 years later. And then those people who got it then, who weren't seasoned investors, they got what? They got like, disappointed. And, they lost a little unrealized, had some unrealized loss, and they couldn't stick in it until 2 years later because they went from 18,000 to then 15,000. They saw it drop to 12,000, down to 10,000. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle it, right? So instead of just holding, saying, hey, I bought something I believe in long term. I believe it's going to go to 40,000. Just didn't get there when I thought it was. Let me just hold on to what I got, and maybe it'll return. No, they didn't do that. Guess what they did then? They sold, right? They started selling, and guess what I was doing when they were selling? I was buying because if I believe that I have bought an asset that's worth 40,000, but I'm getting it for 10,000. Why would I not buy it when you selling it? That just makes sense to me now. But I'm willing to wait. Most people aren't. Most people are going to buy this thing at 34,000, 32,000, whatever it is right now. And then when it drops to 20,000, they're going to be upset because they don't have a long-term perspective on this thing. And then they're going to sell. And guess what are going to happen? Guess who's going to be buying when they're selling? Me. Because I understand. I have a particular value for this particular thing. And I'm not just trying to chase money. I'm trying to buy stuff on sale so that as it grows over time, we're talking about a 100-year time frame here, 119-year time frame, right? Who knows where it can be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever. But I'm still trying to buy it as cheap as I can. Now, here's the other thing. If I understand I'm talking about 100-something years, I ain't in no rush, okay? If I'm thinking 100 years from now, I am in no rush in week one or month one of my understanding of a thing. I'm in no rush if I'm talking about it's 100 years before it's going to be completely mine. I got some time. Everybody putting down, so I got some time. Everybody putting down, we're talking about 119 years. Ain't got to be in no rush. You wasn't in no rush. You wasn't excited about it when it was 1,200. You wasn't excited about it when it was 2,000. Wasn't excited about it when it was 5,000. Wasn't excited when it was 10, 15, 20, 25, but you got excited when it hit 30,000. Everybody put it on, I am in no rush. Right? Wealth is not built overnight, it's built over time. I'm in no rush. You got the, and we're seeing, what do you guys see this very similar, shoot up in such a short amount of time? Happened in December of 2017, happening again in 2019. Is that not very similar? Okay. Similar. Now, there are some differences between where we are in the time frame because, one of the big differences that's taking place now is that you're having an adoption of this thing from big money. So you're having banks and you're having institutions that are actually buying up the Bitcoin, which is actually driving the price up because that's big money that's acquiring things in a short amount of time. But you got to understand big money. Big money moves fast. I mean, it doesn't move fast, but big money moves in big chunks. So yes, they could be buying today, but they could be selling tomorrow. And then they could be buying something else tomorrow. And then we won't know about that, what they bought tomorrow until it's a week from now. And then we'll be chasing money again. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm very fearful of this huge upward movement in such a short amount of time because I realize in pretty much any investment I've ever seen in my life, things don't move this fast, this quick, and they don't last that long. Again, we saw it in 2017. I am pretty confident we're going to see it again in 2000, now moving into 2021. I'm sorry, 3 years later, right? 2017, 2020, 2021. But see, to be a person that says, you know what, let me understand charts. Let me look at history. What has this thing done in the past? Where is it at right now? What's going on with the economy? What's going on with money right now? that's a little bit different than just saying, hey, it's got some momentum. Yes, it does have some momentum, but listen, we are moving into a new year, new week for an economy that's still looking for ways for its money to grow. And that would be Wall Street, which dominates all the stuff. Okay? Now, am I making any sense to anybody? Okay? Let me see what you guys are saying here. I got some time. All right? I got some time, man. I'm in no rush. Don't be in a rush to get rich. I want to make sure I prime that to anybody that's watching that. Don't be in a rush to get rich. Okay? I'm in no rush. I got some time. I got some time, no rush. I remember Boycon came out, I had no confidence whatsoever. Yeah, I got mine early, bro. E made the announcement 4 years. Yeah, I did. Absolutely no rush. Rome was not built overnight, built over time. Big money moves in big chunks. Okay? Nope, that means a huge retracement is on the way. Absolutely. So some people understand this thing. All right, now let me keep going. I want to keep making a case. Again, the case for, it's going to continue to run up. Again, you have maximum supply. You have 100 years before we reach that maximum supply. You have more adoption of this thing. Obviously, now it's become more popular. More people are adopting it. You have companies and huge influential people who have changed stances on what they didn't understand 3 years ago. Okay, so it is becoming more mainstream. And that's okay. We have more places where you can actually buy and sell crypto. You have Coinbase. Now you got Cash App. These are I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? They're current. They're this is risky for them to create these spaces for you to do this, but they believe in the future. They believe in technology. They believe this is where we're going as it relates to a society and what we're going to be using as we get off of the old traditional, legacy type stuff. And we guys can see the evolution. Everybody putting console evolve. We can see the evolution of money. We can see that people have gone from checks to cards to, now. Matter of fact, today I was at a parking lot. I was at a parking lot waiting on the customer. And the person got out of their car and they pulled out a card and then they placed the card on the car and the car locked. And I was like, what? So I got out. I was like, hey, bro, what was that? He's like, oh, that's my key card. I said, your key card? He said, yeah, it's my key to my car. This is how it worked. It was a Tesla. I was like, wow. I was like, whoa, no, you ain't got to put no key in nothing. We see evolution happen. That's what our point is. And this is nothing to me more than evolution of money, evolution of currency, evolution of exchange that's taking place right before our eyes. And I do encourage you to be a part of it. But again, understand it first. Now, what can we do about understanding it? Well, down here, we'll see this thing that goes into a little bit about Bitcoin, what it is, and all this stuff. And then it has some place where you read more about BTC right here on coinmarketcap.com. And then I'll also leave you with a space where you can go to the website. Bitcoin has a website. And I'm going to go pull that up right now. They also have different markets. I'm going to pull up Coinbase Pro, which is what I'm going to be using to trade Bitcoin. I also have a Bittrex account. Okay. So we go to bitcoin.com here. Here's where you need to go if you really want to do your own research to find out more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an innovative payment network and new kind of money. Everybody putting console new kind of money. I like to sound it out. New kind of money. All right, so I'm gonna put this link in the comments below. New kind of money. So if you want to come and do your research, read up on it. Okay, let me just dive in. Because here's the deal: if you was in real estate, you would have studied and took some type of class to become certified in real estate. If you want to be in stocks, you're going to start reading up on companies and doing your research on stocks. If you get into Forex, you're going to have to go to some class, join some company. You got to do some research and learn about Forex. Same thing going to have to happen if you want to really become knowledgeable about this thing called Bitcoin, which is a new kind of money. I like that. What's going on, Miss Glenda Tate Williams in the house, man? We can see the evolution. We can see it happening, right? The evolution of money. So Bitcoin is an innovative payment network, right? It's a network and it's a new kind of money. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of we're going to look at a quick overview for individuals because that's what most of us are. You know, you have mobile payments that are made easy. Bitcoin, when used on mobile device, allows you to pay with simple two-step scan and pay. There's no need to sign up, swipe a card, type a PIN, or sign anything. All you need to receive Bitcoin payments is display your QR code. So it's using a QR code platform with a Bitcoin wallet in order to do mobile payments. There's security control over your money. Bitcoin transactions secured by military-grade cryptography, which is where you have cryptocurrency. All of the cryptocurrencies have a military-grade cryptography, which gives you the protection of the transaction. It works everywhere, anytime. This is why the markets never close for Bitcoin. This is why on weekends, this is where people are trading, other than Forex, because you know the Wall Street or the stock market closed on Fridays. Bitcoin, Forex, they don't ever close. So it's limited to email. You don't need to ask recipients for you're sending Bitcoin to use the same software as a service provider. You just need their Bitcoin address. A Bitcoin address will be like their wallet or their bank account, right? Fast international payments. This is a big thing. Fast international payments. And so instead of going to like I don't know, Western Union, or having to pay those exorbitant fees through the bank to send money internationally, or even send it, or even to exchange stuff through PayPal international. If you got people in Africa, I got people in New Zealand and Germany I want to do international payments through, it's a hassle and it costs too much. Well, I can pay them in Bitcoin. Sending Bitcoin across borders is as easy as sending them across the street. There are no banks to make you wait 3 days, no extra fees for making an international transfer, no special limitations on the minimum and maximum amount you can send. You can choose your own fees. There's no fee to receive Bitcoin. And many wallets let you control how large a fee you pay when spending. And you can protect your identity. This stuff is all moved anonymously. There's no credit card number that malicious actors can collect in order to steal from you. In fact, it's even possible in some cases to send a payment without revealing your identity, almost like with physical money. You should, however, take note that some effort can be required to protect your privacy. Okay, so here's some easy way. It's an easy way to transact at very low cost. We have people that are adopting Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin ATMs popping up. We just had our first, NFL player to receive payment in Bitcoin. We have countries that are adopting Bitcoin. We got Akon over in South Africa, who was creating a Bitcoin platform or cryptocurrency platform for his nonprofit, Akon, and one that's over there making all the lights in Africa, all the electricity run through Africa. Same thing. We have Venezuela, which is a country that said, "Hey, we're tired of the United States taxing us. We're gonna have our own system, and we're going to do this thing on cryptocurrency." These are the kind of things that are happening with cryptocurrency, and in particular, the flagship of cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin itself, again, when I say flagship, we're talking about a coin that represents 70% of the whole cryptocurrency market is Bitcoin. 70%, right? So it dominates the market, 70%. And the other thing I wanted to show you on this coinmarketcap.com as well is let me see here if I can find it. And then we're going to move to another platform, okay? So I showed you guys, hey, you want to go do some research, you can go straight to Bitcoin itself and learn from their bitcoin.org website about Bitcoin for you as an individual, for you as a business, quite possibly, if you want to start accepting or sending Bitcoin, and also for developers. We got people out there that are developing stuff. You can use that platform to do that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. All right. Now, one of the places that I acquire Bitcoin is Coinbase. So I'm over at the Coinbase platform. All right. Coinbase is not necessarily, I think it's the most common place where people are, transacting and acquiring and exchanging their dollars to get Bitcoin. What I found interesting on Coinbase, and I looked tonight, was that the trading activity is 64% buy. When I looked at it yesterday, it was at 72% buy. So it's actually decreased, where you have a few more people selling than than buying from 24 hours ago. I noticed that. I was like, okay. And I'll show you. I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but I'll show you some other things that I saw. So again, same thing here, 78.3 billion in transactions over the past 24 hours. The number one most held coin on Coinbase, and it's the number one most held coin in the cryptocurrency market. It's currently at 32,674. We can see a chart here on Coinbase over the past 24 hours, past week, past month, past year. We also see up 340% in a year, 68% up in a month, 22% up in a week. So you can see why big money has been moving into cryptocurrency. One, being the end of the year, right? Two, understanding that, hey, I still want my money to grow no matter where it goes. And this happened to be one of those places. And now we're starting to move into a new year, and it's going to be new spaces where we're going to see money go. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys, especially because, as I said, I'm going to be starting my trading of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, period, is this thing called Pro. It's Pro Coinbase is a place where traders can go. The only thing I really want to show you here is what I found to be interesting is the depth chart. Depth chart really shows you where the pressure is for the trading of a currency. The trading of a currency also has a lot to do with where the value or the price of that currency should be going based upon the pressure that's on it. If we look at this right now, we're seeing that we have a lot of pressure on the red side, which would be the sell side. There's a lot of sell orders in Bitcoin right now. So temporarily, we might start seeing it, go down a little bit in price while we have the pressure on the sell side, because these are orders that got to be filled, right? And if you have more people selling than buying, then that's going to bring the price down, right? But earlier, yesterday in a week, a week ago, we saw a whole bunch of green. That was like they were the bears. This is like the bear versus bull. Right now, the bulls are kind of winning temporarily, but this thing changes all the time, right? It might be fully green, but right now it's a whole bunch of red, which is saying, hey, we got to fill these orders we got to fill these orders from the sell side. They're ready to sell. They're looking for people to buy, and then as they buy, that's what's happening here. You guys see that? You guys see how it keep going? It's going down. It kind of goes back up, then it goes back down, but you have a lot of pressure on the sell side. This is going to be another indication short term that we're looking at Bitcoin to go down in price. And I don't know about you, but if I can get something cheaper, then I get it. If I can get something cheaper, I'd rather get it cheaper than paying more for it. That's how I look at it. So for those that are saying, hey, you want to get into this thing, right? And you may not do all this, go as far as I'm going and looking at all this stuff and be on this space, but it's a good indication that we're looking at Bitcoin being less expensive in the coming days than it is right now. So I'm saying, hey, wait a little bit. Okay. Wait. Here's what I'm saying. Wait until the enthusiasm, right? What happens when the enthusiasm goes? When the enthusiasm goes, people start forgetting to buy. When enthusiasm's all over, when all of the flame is settled, you see who's with you and who's not. How many guys had some new friends in 2020? They was all excited to be your friend, but they didn't last long. That's kind of how this is. They all these new people, they coming in, they super excited. But you know how it is with anything new. They got a new year, they're gonna make some new resolutions. In 2 months, they ain't gonna be excited no more. That's just how people are, right? They don't keep the same level of enthusiasm when it's no longer new. It's only the people who really believed, really understood, really did their research, and said, hey, this is why I'm in this. I'm in this for the long term. That's gonna still be around when the dust settles. But all those fly-by-night people who are pushing the price up, they're going to eventually be gone. They're going to sell when they start to lose a little money. And then all the people that's been around for a little while that continue to truck on along, believing in the long-term value of this thing, they're going to be able to get it at a cheaper price. All right. Now, any questions about that? I'm just trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to let you see some stuff that you probably don't see from people who just talk but don't show. That's what I hate about social media. A whole bunch of people talking, but they can't show you nothing, right? Be careful of people who can talk but can't show. Don't show you nothing. Just say, hey, do this and do that. You be asking why. I don't know why, because everybody else doing it. Well, that ain't a good reason. I'm not going to do stuff just because everybody else do stuff, but you can't even explain to me why I should do it based upon your education. Now, here's the deal. All right, so here's a strategy I want to help you guys with, especially if you are a person that is not investing in Bitcoin. You want to, you think it's a good thing. You've heard some stuff tonight. You're like, oh, I believe in it long term. I want to give you a strategy. And there's some people who's been in it for a while. They've been implementing this strategy for a while. And we call it dollar cost averaging. Everybody put in comments on DCA. DCA, dollar cost averaging. What's going on, Miss Jefferson? That's my sister from another mister with my same last name, by the way. All right, Miss Wong said Akon created Akon for his city. He's built Senegal, right? He brought some electricity to Senegal, right? Business will be done using Acorn. Yeah, Acorn, which is a cryptocurrency. So how do I know when to sell? That's a whole So how do I know when to sell or trade? It depends. That's hard to explain right now, but it depends on where I am. If I'm in a long position, if I'm in a call position saying, okay, I'm expecting it to get to this level, or I'm expecting it to rise, well, I'm gonna use this chart to see, okay, well, when are the sellers starting to take over? When the sellers are starting to take over, I'm going to get out of my long position because now it's probably going to be turned into a short position. But that stuff, as I get more into it, I'll be bringing it to the BBC, and I'll be those that want to trade. We can start having trading conversations of this cryptocurrency. But this is what I'm be using. So dollar cost averaging. All right. So dollar cost averaging, man. So let me see here. So let's go back over here to Coinbase. So what I would do, for those that want to get in it, but they're not in it, right? What I would do is I would put my, and I have done this. My buying is on a schedule. Okay, I acquire Bitcoin on schedule. So what I did recently, yesterday, I actually sold Bitcoin because, again, it got up to 34,000. I knew that was too high, too fast. So I took some of my profit, and I'm just waiting on it to drop so I can go buy it again at a lower price. When I do that, I have then got captured profit. When I come back in, I'm messing with house money, right? Because I didn't believe, I thought that was too high, too fast. So I captured some profit, and I'm waiting on it to come back down. But for those that don't own any, here's a strategy you can do. You can buy it on schedule. So what I would do is I come in here, I say, okay, I want to buy some Bitcoin. Let's just say I want to buy $25, right? I'm gonna change this. So instead of it being a one-time purchase, I'm actually gonna buy. I have it right now. You could do it 1st and 15th, which would be your payday if you are on that type of schedule. I do mine every week. So every week, no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, I buy Bitcoin every week. $20, $25, $50, whatever it is your threshold is. That way, if you buy it now, let's just say you buy it now at 32.8, but then next week is 30,008. Well, now you have reduced your cost basis for what you own, and you split the kind of split the difference. And in the following week, no matter what the price is, right? Because if you believe in this long term, if you really believe it's going to get to 40,000, if you really believe it's going to get to 100,000, start getting you some a little bit at a time. Everybody put in console autopilot. Also, why I like this strategy is it takes you out of the equation. It's simply you're going to simply be acquiring wealth over time, even when you forget about it. Until you look at your account, you be like, oh, $25 came out. Then you're going to be happy. Oh, yeah, I went and bought some Bitcoin. And then you're going to look at Bitcoin and be like, oh, yeah, I like this too. This is a great way for you to start to build up a portfolio over time. And I do it with Bitcoin. The reason why I do it with Bitcoin and not with my stocks is because Bitcoin or cryptocurrency itself is so volatile. It changes so much, so fast, so quick, and you're trying to keep up with it. Unless you're a person that's going to really keep up with it, you might not be in that position. But you can come in here. You can buy $25, $50. You can buy $10 if you want to do that. And you can do it over time. Just, hey, every week, every 2 weeks, every pay period, every month, whatever. But what you really are doing, you're saying, you know what? This year, in 2021, number one, I found an asset that I believe in. Number two, I'm going to make a commitment to building wealth over time. Now, it might lose your money. You don't know. But at least you giving your money a chance over time. Everybody put in the comments, give my money a chance. If you really believe all the hype, if you really believe 40,000, 50,000, 100,000, if you understand you got a 119-year window, and you understand we're talking about limited supply, and you believe in the adoption of this new kind of money, well, just start getting it. Just think about it. If I do just $25 a week, I'm at $100 a month. I mean, yeah, $100 a month because it's 4 weeks in a year. Now I'm at $1,200 a year, right? Because it's 12 months in a year, and I ain't even thought about it. I ain't even really. It just been happening. And then you come back to it the same way that I did, same way probably Miss Jefferson did, same way some other people that's been investing in it for a while. We ain't looked at this stuff every day. We came back like, oh wow, it's 30,000. Okay, well let me go look at what I own then. If it's at 30,000, let me go look at what I see. This is what we've been doing. So again, I'm not saying don't get it. I would say if you don't own it, wait. Just see what happens over the next couple of days, and then learn what you can over the next few days. And then if you decide you still want to do it, you still want to buy, my recommendation is dollar cost averaging. Just buy a little bit now, put it on some type of cycle where it just goes and buy for you automatically. Right? So you ain't gonna miss $20. You ain't gonna miss $25. You've been wasting that every month anyway. Might as well go ahead and give your money a chance with this new kind of money, with this new technology. Everybody, if that makes any sense to anybody. Okay? What's going on with Tamara? Yeah, buy $25 a week. That what you do, Miss Jefferson? Right? I think you've been doing it for a little while. Put it on autopilot. All right, give your money a chance. Give your money a chance. If institutions are adopting this, if banks are adopting this, if countries are adopting this, why not you? Right? Why not you? All these other places saying, you know what, this is a thing. You're seeing Bitcoin ATMs pop up everywhere. If you see that this is a thing, it ain't no fluke no more, right? It used to be a fluke, like, oh, I don't believe it. It was a scam or whatever came to be. No, it ain't that way no more. It's gonna be very tough for you to still believe that this is not a thing. When we're talking about, well, let me go back. What are we talking about? We're talking about market cap. We're talking about 600. See, that done went down. See how it went down? Now we're talking about $606 billion in this thing that people don't think is a thing. It's so hard for a thing not to be a thing when it's $606 billion in it. It's hard for this thing to not be a thing, and it's $606 billion in it. And because we know it's we're talking about a 119-year time frame, we still got time. We still got time. You understand what I'm saying? Right? You still got time. You're talking about 100 years. But man, what happens if you're right? What happens if you take a chance and you just happen to be right? In 100 years from now, because of something you did. See, here's the philosophy about investing. You plant a tree now so that later your family can enjoy the shade. Now, let me say that again for the people in the back. You plant a seed now for a tree. That tree grows over time so that later your family can enjoy the shade. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what we had the opportunity to do with the evolution of money, I believe, with this new kind of money and technology that is changing, is interrupting the market. It's disrupting what we would consider to be a traditional or legacy, system. All right. Now there's gonna be some regulation that comes down. Is obviously they talk now. Even talking about now, you're gonna have to, on your taxes, you're gonna have to start, putting Bitcoin profits and losses on your tax. If IRS getting involved, it's hard to believe that this is not a thing. If they want to start regulating, it must be something. Crypto ATM every corner, man. Plant a seed now so that your family can enjoy the shade. Look at that. She said, Miss Monica said, I specifically bought for my great grandchild of mine. Right? I specifically, she want to think about it. So I said, man, okay. Because if this, just like any other technology, man, if I'd got in Amazon early, if I got in Microsoft early, you know what I'm saying? If I got in those things when those things starting to become a thing, right? If I'd have just gotten those things when those things started becoming a thing, you gotta say, I get tired. I'm gonna get tired over time of missing boats. Over time, I'm gonna get tired of missing boats. All right, got any questions for me, man? I hope I did do justice for you. I don't want this thing to drag on too long. I am going to be doing more cryptocurrency discussions, as I said, especially for the BBC, as I dive into the trading of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. I'll do that, but I'll start to do more broadcasts, especially on ERGJ Enterprises on crypto this year. So we can learn more about these other coins, or what they call altcoins, and what they do. Ethereum's been pretty big. Oh, I want to show you this too while I'm thinking about it. If you enjoy this, you're like, you know what, he's doing a good job. He's giving us information, all that stuff, and you're not a BBC member. Well, you can support this channel. If you're on Facebook, there's a little button that says "Become a Supporter." I believe it's $4.99 a month. If you say, hey, man, you know what? I believe in the exchange. I believe and understand that money is the exchange of value for value. I received some value tonight that was free, but I like to exchange a little money so that this brother can keep on teaching the people as he has done and as he's been doing for the past 10 years. Well, you can just simply go there, click on the support button, $5 a month. I just gave you a strategy. I just broke down everything I could for you, everything I could for a short amount of time to help you understand something that you probably don't understand a little bit better. Well, you become a supporter. That way I can keep on teaching. See, I'm going to give because I believe because I'm expecting to get in return. I'm not going to expect to get in return before I give, though. So even if you don't hit the subscribe button or hit the support button, I'm going to keep giving because I know my God, he continues to show up and show out in ways I could not even imagine. Now, here's what I want to show you. So you see how we see the selling pressure on BTC, right? We see this selling pressure going on. I mean, we saw it just drop from 33 to 32. We see this happening, right? What if I click on, I'm going to click on Ethereum, which although BTC is up 1% or whatever the case may be, 2%, look at Ethereum, which is another coin, was up 25% over the past 24 hours. We see here, we see this kind of equal volume, or we see really a lot of pressure. We see a lot of buying that's going on here. Man, I'm gonna dive all into this thing. I'm gonna take a look at they've been talking about XRP a lot lately. XRP's got some selling pressure going on. Right, LTC Litecoin, which I'm big. Look at this. This what I'm talking about. Look at Litecoin. Y'all talking about Bitcoin. Y'all ain't talking about Litecoin though. Litecoin's up 15% over the past 24 hours. A lot of buying pressure going on with Litecoin. Probably moving some of this selling that's going on with Bitcoin, probably going over to Litecoin. Okay. We can see this stuff. So again, one thing I want to encourage you guys again, there's a lot of people that can talk. A lot of people can talk. Not too many of them can show. You gotta decide who you're gonna pay attention to. You're gonna pay attention to people that can teach you, or you're gonna just pay attention to people that's gonna talk to you. I don't know. I learned a long time ago, start listening to people that talk. Show me the money. I believe we must learn to invest better instead of just savings bond. I'll invest in things besides savings bond with extremely low return. Yeah, man, listen. Whoo, them bonds and stuff, them for the bird. I mean, if you don't build up a portfolio where you got a whole bunch of money, you just want to lend it out to the government, put it in a bond, stuff like that, great. But if you're on the growth side of your wealth strategy, you got to get into stuff that can grow. And we're starting to see some stuff that's really been growing over time. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today. I don't do this just to do this. I do this to make a difference, and hopefully we made a difference in your life today, tonight. I'm simply asking you to put in the comments below, was this worth your time and why? I'm a big believer in making sure that before I go off air that somebody got something, and I ain't just waste a whole hour of my time, going losing my voice. While you guys are typing, I want you guys to know I am bringing some things back. Tomorrow morning we start. We relaunch the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We are going to really be featuring Black authors that have written about business and money. But we're going to start with a book called The Tales of the Immortals, which I found this past weekend, which is going to start talking about virtues. So tomorrow we're going to launch that. I think it's 7 virtues, so it's only 7 days. But I think it's a comic book as well. But I think I can't wait to read those stories and just, see what they're talking about as far as the virtues are concerned. But after that, we're either going to get into Black Titan or the origins of the Black elite. So again, the whole scope for this book club is going to be Black authored books that talk about money and or business or personal development of some sort. So if you're interested in that, you're saying, you know what, you want to get with us on this train as we're continuing to read and develop our minds. Understand that that before the money comes, you got to develop your mind, right? Wealth begins in the mind. Everybody put in that comments below. Wealth begins in the mind. You must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet. Matter of fact, you exchange what you have in your wallet to fill your mind later. You can exchange what you have in your mind to fill your wallet. As you become more valuable, you'll begin to exchange that value for a whole bunch of dollars. and if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. All right. That's what I'm talking about, man. Ms. Jefferson, keep pushing, man. Evolution of money. I learned a different strategy on how to purchase stocks and why. Ms. Wong said, definitely worth my time because I'm going to use a strategy to invest in cryptocurrency. Absolutely. Wealth begins in the mind. Well, beautiful people, I am your host, ERGJ, a certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises and ERGJ Black Bazaar. I'm a teacher of money and investments. I've been teaching Black folk about this thing for over a decade. And I look forward to seeing your portfolios at the end of 2021. Hopefully you continue to make wise decisions. You decide that your money is valuable, that your hard work for your money is valuable, and you're not going to waste a lot of it this year, although you're still going to waste a little bit, but you're going to take some of it and give your money a chance to grow. You're going to use some of it to plant a seed, and that seed can become a tree of wealth for you, not only for you, but your family. And later they can enjoy the shade. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave